I'm here with no one else but Calici, Multi, and Ubaldo Jr., right?
Ubaldo Treviso Quesada.
All right, so Ubaldo, what's your role with Xochipala, Oroco? What do you do?
I am the project manager for Xochipala on the mining project.
Okay, and what does it mean?
Well, I am in charge of all the logistics. I need to keep the roads, drill pads, water for drilling, keep the drills going, pretty much overlook the whole project.
Okay, since I was here last year, I think it was like July 2021, we were just about to start drilling and we were connecting water to the first drill pad. Can you walk us through what happened? What kind of progress has been made since then?
Well, yeah, since the last time you were here, we started the first water project for Santo Tomas. We had to run 9 kilometers of 2-inch HDPE to get water to our Santo Tomas camp and make we used 16 containers of 10,000 liters each to make our battery for storing water, and that feeds each 2 drills at Santo Tomas.
Okay, and right now we have 3 drills operating on the property. Where are they located?
Well, right now as we're speaking, we have 2 drills on Santo Tomas.
Meaning the north?
North. And 1 drill at Brasiles on the other side of the river.
And who is is this an outside company or inside company doing the drilling? Who's doing that?
It's a contractor called Los Gavilanes. They provide their own people with experience. They have 2 rigs which are drilling right now in Santo Tomas, and the drill in Brasiles, it's owned by Oroco. But Gavilanes provide the people for that one too.
And the crew that is responsible for drilling in the north and Brasiles, where do they live? Do they come from outside or do they stay somewhere here?
There's 2 new camps. We just built 2 new camps. One for 52 people stay at Santo Tomas, and one for 32 people at Camp Brasiles. So we provide food and dorms for them. Since the last time you were here, we've done a couple of changes. Now we have security entering the core shack. We set up a guard. There's a guard there to keep control of our core, secure our electrical equipment, computers, laptops, and visualize and inspect the vehicles and people that come into our facility. That's new there, the security. We'll come in on our way back, but if we would have gone in right now, he'll stop us, he'll check inside the cab, see what we got, make sure we're safe and our personnel is safe.
The setup that Oroco has is not typical of a junior miner.
Why not?
It's a setup that you would look for at a major company. The processing facilities there, the logging facilities, top notch. Haven't seen anything like it in my career looking at junior miners.
I am with Adam after the first day at the property. So Adam, this is a 3rd time we're here together. What is your reaction to the progress after seeing yesterday?
Yes. Well, the first 2 visits, so good morning everybody. The first 2 visits that we had were prior to the start of exploration work, or prior to the start of drilling anyways. We were here on our 2nd visit when the IP survey was underway, but the core shack hadn't been completed, drilling obviously hadn't started, and it now has. We're 9 months into it, 8 months into drilling. And so we're seeing the core shack. Today we're going to see the drilling, so we haven't seen drills yet, but yesterday we spent the day at the core shack. And we got to see the completed facility in the sense of the infrastructure completed. But more importantly, we got to meet the team who were handling the core logging the core, preparing the core for assay. And as I'm sure Mariusz will explain in another video, that's a multi-step process with experts at each step of the process. So we got to meet the team involved in the geotechnical logging, in the geological logging, that sort of thing. And people who had just been names to me previously, I got to meet for the first time and speak to them and see them working and have them describe what their job function is, and start to understand the talent that we've got at Ranchito at the core facility for Santo Tomas. So we have, it seems, at each of those stations, each of those steps of logging and studying the core, individuals with particular talents, very, very experienced individuals from around the world, but mostly from Mexico, who are able to conduct the function, whether it's the geotechnical logging, the geological logging, or other things. And they described what they're seeing. They described how they do what they do, how they record what they do, how that data gets stored. And we went through, particularly the geological logging stage. We had a long discussion with Miguel from Peru, who is a copper porphyry expert. And he explained not only what he does and how he does it, but he walked us through a number of lengths of core in different holes and what he's seeing, and how that all comes together as a package of an understanding of the geology of Santo Tomas. And that was a real revelation for me, because a lot of these holes are recently out of the ground. Some of them we don't have assays for yet. We've got descriptions of what they're seeing. So it was very interesting, revelatory even, to hear Miguel talk about these holes that are being drilled, in some cases within the area of the historical resource, and in some cases outside of the area. The results representing expansion of the known resource in Santo Tomas. So that was I think the particularly interesting takeaway yesterday, and discovery for me yesterday, was the depth of talent that we have at Santo Tomas, and the results that we're getting. So the other important element of yesterday was to meet Mike Smith, who is here consulting to us, and helping to streamline the processes and design the process of examining and logging the core, and allowing us to capture that kind of data that we need for this project to be de-risked for a potential buyer, as well as increase the amount of core coming through that facility. So
and who is Mike?
Mike is a very senior geologist with 4 decades of experience in drilling out projects just like Santo Tomas all over Latin America. He's from Phoenix, he's bilingual, and he will help us expand the program in Santo Tomas. As we add drills, there's a lot of core coming into a facility. That core needs to all be handled the way we saw the core being handled yesterday. And so you need systems in place for that very, very large amount of core and large amount of data that's generated. So Mike is here to do that. He's worked on countless projects, and as he described to us yesterday, Santo Tomas is among the best he's had the good fortune to work at. So, seeing the talent, seeing the processes start to be streamlined and prepared for the expansion of the drill program, and seeing the talent and having them describe to us the significance of what we're discovering at Santo Tomas and the quality of the ore body at Santo Tomas.
For me as a shareholder, it was nice to see like how much work it takes and how many people are involved in producing the press releases and the information that we all want. We just want, hey, when is the press release? And it was nice to see like firsthand like how much work there's behind producing every little thing that we just demand as shareholders.
That's right, and seeing the complexity of what it is that we're doing gives me a new appreciation for the team down here and the time that things take. The other thing too was quite just simply seeing their excitement. They came to dinner with us last night, and they spoke throughout dinner. They spoke till late in the night about the things they're seeing at Santo Tomas. So seeing excited technicians, excited geologists gives me a sense and understanding of what Santo Tomas really is.
Yeah, very impressed with what we're seeing here. Originally came to Oroco from the tankers, of course, and then watched your series on Oroco, and finally get to be here in person after almost 2 years of being involved, and very impressed seeing the progress compared to your first visit almost 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. Very excellent team, and I think we got to run because we're getting our site visits, and we'll do more updates later.
You guys seen Santo Tomas on the videos. How does it feel to see it in real life?
Amazing. It's amazing to be here. I'm really excited to see this in person. We've seen it for years on maps and photos and all that stuff.
I see it on satellite all the
see it on
time, right?
satellite
And
all the
like
time,
it feels like satellite compresses it both in the vertical and in the horizontal. Like vertically, there's so much vertical here when we came in, and it looks a lot flatter on satellite. And then just the scale. You know, you stand here at the edge of the North Zone, and Brazil is
Yeah. But one
even
thing,
though it's right there, it's still. It's huge.
Yeah, it's big. It's very big. This is probably one of the biggest projects I've been on.
Hey Mariusz, here we are at drill hole N015. So we're on North Zone. It's hole 15. We're drilling from the west towards the east at about 55-degree angle. And this hole is our most southern hole so far in the drill program. So we're basically 14 completed holes once this completes at the North Zone, and it's bringing us towards the end of the confirmation phase of our drilling, and we'll start moving into essentially resource definition from here. But this really is the culmination of a 10-year legal process, a series of money raisings, and the initial confirmation drilling that basically indicates the North Zone historical resource that we've quoted from in the past is here. We've confirmed the essential geologic model, and we'll be drilling down this western flank of the deposit to start to explore to depth and the westward extension of the North Zone. So we've been stepping south to do that. So we'll just have a quick look at the drill. And so we've just started this drill hole and starting to get into materials of interest. We're going through a limestone cap. The drill crew, we brought the ladies to have a look, I guess, and photo opportunity. But the drilling takes place at the drill, and then we bring the materials from the drill in the core barrel. We orient the core in these V-rails so that we can orient the major structures, the mineralized veins, etc. Frank here is the geologist. He comes up, he checks the core here, he packs it in foam, he straps it up so that it will travel securely and takes it back to Ranchito for core logging.
I'm here with Ian, Linda, and Malti, and we're talking with Ian. So Ian, last time I was here, we weren't drilling. We just got the permit to drill, and give us an update of what you've been doing here since my last visit.
Yeah, so I think the last time we came through El Fuerte, as we're doing now, Mariusz, we were just connecting water lines and preparing for drilling. As you said, permit came in while you were here, and so since then we booted up the first two drills. They were focused on North Zone confirmation of the North Zone at shallow and intermediate levels in terms of elevation. So since you were here, we've drilled essentially 14 holes. Our fifth hole drilled to 37 meters, but we had some stability issues, so we relocated the drill to hole 6. And we've just collared hole 15, and we'll shortly collar hole 16. So essentially drilling that confirmation and beginning to step down dip to the west. I think what we've successfully done is demonstrate that the historical geology and the expectations of copper mineralization have panned out as anticipated, in line with the model of the time, and we're now beginning to step out further and begin to expand our understanding of the North Zone. And also during that period we mobilized a third drill, and we've located that at Brasiles, and that drill is on its 4th hole at Brasiles presently, and we're beginning to understand the stratigraphy and intrusive lithostratigraphy at Brasiles. It's early days, but that has commenced, and we're essentially drilling a second cross-section in the western part of Brasiles, the buried covered feature there. So that is proceeding. And also, since you were here, we built 2 camps, one at Brasiles that is occupied by the Brasiles drill crew now, and one between South Zone and North Zone, which will service the area south of the river. And that camp was just handed over to the company yesterday. You were present for that. And
but the crews are already living out of it, right?
They are, yeah. So we've got 2 drill crews based at that camp, and we'll shortly be occupying that camp with a team that will conduct the surface mapping that we require to give us the surface geology and be able to link that with the geology in the subsurface as we do the drilling. So momentum building, we covered the core storage facility. We continue to sort of upgrade the team and upgrade the Ranchito facility, and essentially bed everything down to enable us to start to scale the drilling, scale the water infrastructure that we require to support the drilling, and we're also working to put in water alternatives. So we'll shortly be drilling some wells proximal to North Zone to enable us to provide more water for more drills. So it's a scaling process, but at this point we've got drilling infrastructure established, and we're really essentially now ready to start scaling.
And then so right now you have three rigs turning. What is your plan for the number of rigs?
Mariusz, the intention is to add rigs. There isn't a specific timetable on exactly how many rigs and when at this point. Those decisions were being held until we completed a financing. As your viewers will be aware, that's a well-advanced process now. So I expect we'll firm those plans over the next month or so, and we all look forward to that. Currently, we have a fellow whom I think you've interviewed in the last few days, Mike Smith, and he's in helping us streamline our core processing, core cutting, logging, geotechnics, etc., in preparation for being able to handle a higher volume of core flow. So that will all his recommendations will be instituted over the next 2 to 3 weeks, and I think after that we'll be ready to scale up. We also need to complete some of the water provision alternatives. We're moving into the dry season. Water becomes a commodity that is in desperately short supply in the months ahead of the rainy season. So we need to put in place our water alternatives from these drill holes that we will shortly drill, and that will enable us to scale. And once the rainy season begins, water's no longer an issue, and we'll be able to scale even further. So to put our finger on the number of drills and the exact plan at this point isn't possible, but I expect we'll scale up 4, 5, possibly 6 drills in time for the second half of the year. So we're really looking forward to that, to scaling the program now that we've confirmed in a very exciting way that the North Zone is pretty much as anticipated and is showing signs of being larger. And now that we've drilled at Brasiles and we're seeing geology that is very compelling. So it's time to take the brakes off and go.
Okay. Do you guys have any questions for Ian?
No questions, just keep working hard. Exciting prospects ahead. An amazing team coming together. It's a privilege to watch and walk alongside.
All right, perfect.